Well, hello, and welcome back to another scary edition of Ghost Stories Told from the South. I am your host, Stephen LeBooth, and I've got some skelly stuff for you, girls and ghouls. Hoo-hoo-ah. Okay, I'll quit being a ding dong. Hope everybody's having a great week and being spooky. This weather is getting cooler, and I love it because you know what that means. Halloween's around the corner, and I can't wait. Like I hope you can't wait for this week's episode. We got some good stuff. We're still covering Montana and Washington and Canada. So, yeah, I'll probably be on these for a couple more episodes and then we'll be done and we'll find something else. There's always something to find. Anyways, hope you guys have been having a great week. I just want to say thank you once again. Dude, I'm more than happy. The numbers are growing, and like I said, hopefully one day I can turn this into a business, and this is what I do for my job, because I'd love to do that. But until that time comes, we'll just see what happens. But I love my numbers. I love where I'm at. They're growing, just little by little. I'm just getting bigger and bigger, and I love it. And I want to say thank you to everybody. And go check out our YouTube page because I got the video I do up there. I don't do a video for every episode, but I still put a episode up there on YouTube. So go check us out on the YouTube channel. And I'm working on getting a webcam. I'm working on getting a web page going. So that'll be cool, man. But until then, we'll see what happens. But I'm ready for some scary stuff. Are you ready for some scary stuff? Then good. Get your warm blanket and some coffee. Cuddle up by the fire. Get nice and cozy. Turn all the lights off. If you're not too scared. Our first story is the Grand Union Hotel in Fort Bennington, Montana. The Grand Union Hotel still is one of the oldest cities in Montana, which construction completed in 1882. The hotel itself is an old structure. During the history of the hotel, there have been reports of ghosts appearing in the hotel. True ghost hunters and avid paranormal investigators believe it to be one of the most haunted hotels in Montana. There are people who claim to hear the sounds of hoof beats on the staircase in the hotel. The idea is possible since, according to lore, a drunk rode his horse into the hotel and went upstairs before being shot and killed. There are odd blue lights that appear to dance across room 202. So if you're ever there, check it out. And there's a ghostly figure of a man in a long jacket makes his rounds around the entire area of the hotel. Here's some more on it. Located at 1 Grand Union Square in Fort Bend, the Fort Bend Hotel dates back to 1882 and is listed on the National Historical Places of Montana. Legend says the hotel is home to a number of ghosts. A drunken cowhand who was once said to have rode his horse into the hotel and up the main staircase before being shot and killed by the bar manager. And people have reported the sounds of phantom hoof beats on the staircase. A food supplier once reported seeing several people in a period uh, con, okay, I got mixed up there. A food supplier once reported seeing several people in a period accustomed watching him make a delivery from the room above. When he asked about it, he found out that the room was vacant. So there was people in the room watching this fellow work that wasn't there. And in room 202, two women spent the night watching beautiful lights dance through their room. Others air occurrences at the hotel include beds being suddenly unmade, a flash that rolled around on its own, or a flashlight that rolls around on its own, and a ghost who has been seen wearing a long coat believed to be Charles Rowe, the hotel manager from 1891 to 1899. So, if you're ever around Montana, go check this scary place out, guys. All right. Let's do our next story. What do you say? Okay, our next story is the old Tacoma City Hall, and it's in Washington. The 6-story old Tacoma City Hall, with its arched and branched clock and bell tower, is a glorious 1893 Italian residence style structure designed by E.A. Hartman, a San Francisco architect. The bricks found at the base of the building that make up the 8 foot thick walls were originally used as a ballast on ships in the sea in its era. So, because back then they used a lot of ships back then. Where am I at? Bells and whistles that made its buildings steadily and ordained were an integral part of its construction, as the city hall was to be the apple of the civic pride for its portal town. Tacoma, a city that sits beside the Cumsonnet Bay that leads to Puget Sound. There are present brick wall terracotta orientation and a copper tilted roof, just to name a few. The clock tower, with its 4 massive bells used inside, it's on its own, and it has walls that tilt toward to increase the sense of height. The clock and the chimes were donated in 1905 by H.C. Wallace in memory of his daughter who died too young. Wallace went on to become the United States ambassador to France. Inside it is described as a unique blend of classic architect details, including copper embroideries and tall windows, sweeping archways, exposed brick interiors, and high ceilings, 16 feet tall, as a matter of fact. Completed by it's completed by contemporary upgrades and modern, stuff of the New World to create a unique, death-defying office environment. The owners of this building, the Stanford Company, were actually trying to lease the space to business while looking for investors to finance the construction of the apartments, and or buy or take it all on. So far, they have 2 smaller businesses and 1 large, which is better than spoke in the eye. Hopefully, they will get more businesses using this unique space soon. Okay, now the history. From 1893 to 1959, this glorious city hall was home to Tacoma's city government, completed with jail in the basement. However, by 1959, this historical relic was in need of some TLC, and a boatload of funds were used for renovations and repairs. That would give the structure much needed facelift and modernizing of its faculties. As the city did not have a boatload of money, they moved the Tacoma city government into a new modern building, then also was home to Peace County officers. The old Tacoma Hall stood vacant for then 10 years as a daunting fixture upon the community. The old Tacoma City Hall was nearly torn down, but it was saved by JIT in 1974. The old Tacoma City Hall was put on the National Registry of Historic Buildings of Montana, which generated some interest in the building, but no nonprofit preservations group came together to raise the funds to restore the building, meaning that it would be a long uphill climb to fulfill the restoration. Okay, I'm going to get past all this. Okay, we're going to go over now the history of the ghost and stuff. History of the manifestations. They just gave you some of the history of the joint and all that, so I got tired of reading, so I ran through it and just said skip it. Because I want to get to the juicy part. Okay, this is the history of the manifestations. No one knows who and how many spirits call the old Tacoma City Hall their home. Some possible theories as to why there are listed below for your amusement. Buildings that historically have been a hotbed of political deals and government businesses for the people, sometimes harbor spirits that are still in it, perhaps trying to finish some unfinished business. The building once was home to the city government of Tacoma and truly was a place of drama. The decision making and deals and conversations and lots of paperwork and processing. In many stories found on hauntedhouses.com, entails are lonely and miss interactions so they can engage the living for the chuckles and company. So that's why that's why the ghosts mess with people at this house. The entity named Gus, described below, sure loved being recognized and talked to by the living, and his antics were not done for attention either. The building structures that are struggling fixture upper proprieties sometimes draw back into these world entities who really love this place and try to get their attention of loving to do something about the disrepair and shambles in many manner that this place is. The old Tacoma City Hall and the City Hall has been an awful condition for quite a while. This could draw entities back into its world who loved its place, who perhaps are the culprits in some of the activity described below. Mysterious bells ringing, and a little play can be heard in the entire place. Entities trying to get to the living attention to spur up their favorite building in this world. Ghosts and spirits love to play with electronical items and cannot resist the temptation to. Items run by electricity are popular with the spirits in the hall. Okay, here's one entity, the male entity. He is named Gus by the Tacoma Bar and Grill restaurant, once located in the first floor. Activity in the old bar area of the restaurant. Gus had an intention act for each new employee. He would knock each bottle of alcohol off the shelf, He would knock them off the shelf in an assembly line fashion in front of the startled employee. Yet the bottles were never broke. On opening day for the restaurant, the stove stopped working, and nothing was deemed to be wrong with it. Afterwards, the stove worked again with not another hitch. Gus would stop his pranks when the new employees would start talking to him. Apparently, he was lonely and wanted some attention in this manner. The mischievous played. Oh, the mischief played on the other attendants, on the other people that lived there, not lived there, but worked there. Tenants have been locked out of their offices and doors slammed by themselves. The elevators go up and down all by themselves, as reported by tenants too. Visitors and security guards have seen this. The entities that haunt the old city hall likes to oh the ghost of the hall like to play around with the security guards to keep things lively. Security guards had spent many of night chasing intelligent shadows throughout the building. Guards see shadows floating down the halls and go around them as they patrol the halls. Lights are turned on and off too. From the outside looking in. From the outside, people have seen lights turn on and off by themselves, causing the guards to check to see if anyone is there. After everything is investigated, the living find that the rooms that had their lights turned on and off, nobody was ever in there. The unknown entities, there's more than one. They ring the bells mainly in the city hall at all hours of the night to catch the jokers. The manager spent the night in the building but found that no one living was making the bells ring, but left in the morning convinced that an entity was haunting the place. Here's some more stuff. When alone in the hallways, some people have felt the rush of unseen people go past. Near the old constable chambers, disembodied coughs are sometimes nervously heard. Sounds like somebody clearing their throat. Or perhaps it a bit, maybe it's one of the ghosts from the council. Is it still haunted? People have been back and done some more research, and it's a pretty haunted place. So if you're ever around Montana, go check this place. No, I mean Washington. Go check this place out. It's called the old Tacoma City Hall. That one was kind of sucky. That story wasn't that good. This next one better be a doozy. And I mean doozy. La Parka. Okay, I'm talking to myself. Nope, I missed one. Virginia City. I knew I did. I knew it. But I don't know what I did with Virginia City. So when I come across it, I come across it. Okay. I'm going to drink water, my friends, and we'll go to the next story. All right. Sorry if I butchered its name up. But our next one is the La Barria Park in Manitoba, Canada. The April 8, 2015 report for Winnipeg's La Barria Park came from the jogger McKay. This is what she said. She was jogging through the park with her dog, and after making her second lap around the park through the small forest path, she felt something swish past her. She became instantly afraid because she was alone in the area with trees and there was no wind, she said. The woman dismissed the feeling and continued jogging. A few minutes later, it happened again. Only this time, it was occupied by the sound of children giggling. Weeks later, she was watching television and she heard that the park was indeed haunted with sounds of children laughing. But before that, she had no idea. that's pretty spooky. I got more on it, so don't worry, don't go nowhere. Okay, here's some of the history on this place. Despite being located outside of the city boundaries of La Beria is owned by the city of Winnipeg. This city purchased the land that would become the park in 1969. The park is 136 acreage along the La Salia River and contains natural forests, sports fields, and the river. It is free to enter and available for activities all year round of the year: hiking, cross country skiing, and canoeing. The park is said to be haunted by children. It is haunted by children, although nothing in its history suggests why this is. People have felt something rush by them in a gust of wind in the forest when there is no natural wind. There are also reports of people feeling as though something is running at them from from multiple directions while in the forest. The disembodied voices of two girls having a conversation has been reported. Other people have heard phenomenal phenom sounds, phantom sounds of children laughing, and at times the laughter is heard as if it's right next to the witness, or it's made by children running by. Pretty creepy. So if you live up in Canada around that way, go check that place out for me. Report to me. Tell me how it is. Yeah. All right, let's get ready for the next one. All right, our next story is Virginia City. History surrounds you when you visit Virginia City, from the wooden sidewalks to the buildings dating back to the 1800s. It is no wonder there is a little tales of ghostly happenings of many of the town's landmarks. If you dare hunt for the haunted experience in Virginia City, go to these places if you dare. Okay, these are all places in Virginia City. The Silver Queen Hotel. For a terrifying experience that may have you running for the door in the middle of the night, visit the Silver Queen and Wedding Chapel. With spirits caught on the wedding chapel's security cameras and paranormal activity occurring in, rooms 11, 13, and this 142-year-old property has been frightening guests for years. The ghost of Rosa and Anne can be heard running around the hotel and tapping on the windows. Take a chilling guide through this creepy place. The next one is the historic Fourth Ward School. Built in 1875, the Fourth Ward was one of the biggest and nicest schools in the area. After years of neglect, the ward was closed for more than 50 years. Repairs were made and it was reopened in 1986. Today the building is still open as a museum, but the spirit of a former teacher, Miss Susie, can still be seen searching the grounds for her students. Never quits her job. The next place is the Sugarloaf Mountain Hotel. This 1800s motel is reaping with charm and haunts. Each room comes with a ghost log where guests can write down, what happened through the night if they've seen any ghosts or heard anything. Steps inside the doll room. If you are searching for the unexplained noises such as heavy breathing, footsteps, laughter, and moving doors, then this is your place to go stay. So you can go stay here and write down what you hear and see. Then we have Piper's Opera House. John Piper's Opera House was burned down twice, leaving the third renovation for leaving the third renovation of the building lasting. The Opera House brought talent and magic to Virginia City for many years. Today, people can still see some entities performing, watching, or setting up for a big show. Some of the some of the some of the most ghost some of the most haunted areas of the Opera House are the balcony, attic, and in the basement. It's always the basement. I guess because it's cold and dark there. I don't know. Kind of weird. The next one is Mickey or the Mackay Mansion. Comstock millionaire John Mackay. Oh, it's Mackay. John Mackay may have made a deal with the devil to save his famous Mackay Mansion. While the Great Fire burned nearby areas, the mansion was unharmed. Although the mansion still remains intact, 7 or more spirits have been seen inside or around the mysterious mansion. Mackay's wife has been heard wandering through the halls searching for her lost lover. And her lost lover's name was Rico Suave. The next story is about the Story County Courthouse. The legend of Peter Larkin's hanging still haunts the Story County Courthouse. After being accused of murder, Peter's girlfriend testimony in the courthouse resulted in Peter's death. Today the courthouse remains open as a museum to the public, and and it's on the list for historical buildings in the town. So if you want to see some skilly stuff, go by the courthouse. You might still see that guy hanging. Then we have the old Washoe Club. That's what it says, the old Washoe Club. Built in 1870 as a luxury bar called the Billionaires Club. The old Washoe Club was known as an exclusive high-status meeting place for the man in Virginia City. With a brothel up the spiral staircase and a large freezer called the Crypt, it is no wonder strange happenings occurred here. For many years, the death toll of its club was on a roll. An explosion killed 12 people in 1875. Several suicides, missing prostitutes, and bodies restored in the crypt all could account for the spirits that haunt the place. Today, you take a tour through the place and check it out for yourself. The vacant lot. The empty area next to the Silver Queen has a nasty habit of burning down hotels. The first hotel was built in 1860 and burned 3 years later. Once rebuilt, the Virginia City Great Fire burned the second hotel, along with most of the town. Finally, the last version of the hotel was ruined in 1914. Since then, the lot has remained vacant, providing the area to the park. You can they use it for a parking lot now. So, yeah, that's pretty weird. They built 3 houses and they burnt. Now we got the Silver Terrace Cemetery, and a place where the deceased are supposed to be at peace. It is chilling to think that some of the dead are still wandering around. While ghostly activity can be common in cemeteries, the Taurus Cemetery is a large collection of the final resting place for everyone who lived in the area since the 1860s. Scratching over a hillside, this cemetery is in a unique area. St. Mary's Art Center. Known as St. Mary Louis's Hospital, 6 or 7 sisters lived in the attic and cared for the sick people of Victoria City. The doors were open for anyone, no matter how sick, complete with an operating room on the first floor, and an insane asylum on the fourth floor, an emergency area in the basement, and a nursery for the children. This old hospital has seen its own share of horrors and death over the years. One of St. Mary's most famous patients is the ghostly man who can be seen sitting in his wheelchair with a confused glaze. The legendary White Nun is known for messing up visitors' beds and walking the halls searching for her patients. Pretty gnarly. Now we're going to go to Clumpus Vetus Clumpus Vetus building. The second clubhouse is still a mystery to many Virginia City residents. The members of the Knights of Pythian were said to be was said to be a group that honored the law of the land, and a way became the own type of law, and the way they became their own type of law enforcement. While these knights did help the community, no one is quite sure what occurred within the building. It is rumored that numerous murders were committed by those members. Currently, the building is previously owned, keeping these hauntings at an unknown. No one knows because it's probably privately owned now. So I don't know if I'd own a creepy place like that. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff happened there, it sounded like. Crazy. That makes sense, though, because you think about it. I know there's a Knights of Pythian here, or there used to be here in Mineral Wells. I don't know if there is anymore. Okay. The Delta Saloon. The curse of the curse of the curse of owning the Delta Saloon comes with a deadly price. These previous owners lost more than their money when gambling on the saloon's famous suicide table. The originally the original casualty, Blackjack, lost 70,000 one night before taking his own life. After 2 more suicides, the table's name was famous, and the decision to cease dealing on it was made. Today, the table is still located in the Delta Saloon, where people can sit at the deadly table, but it's provided risky gambling. It is protected under the place. So don't go there and think you're going to go on that table and gamble. That would be crazy, though. Jesus. See, that's just crazy. Man, $70,000 he lost gambling. Damn. Them guys didn't play around back then. Jesus. Yeah, that's back then. If he had that kind of money on him, 70,000 back then, shit, he was a millionaire. He was rich. Oh, sorry if I'm yawning. Pulling the red eye. It's a late one night, baby. All right, let's go to a quick commercial, and we will be right back. Well, how's everybody doing today? This is good old Frey and Uncle Dickie from Borderline Texas Trash, the most popular podcast in the world today. It's climbing up the charts faster than freaking slime on a stein, baby. Well, if you're wondering, what the hell is Borderline Texas Trash about? And who is its son bitch Uncle Boo? Well, Uncle Boo is the most recognizable voice in podcasting today, babies.
We gonna get funky like a monkey on some turnip greens. I'm coming in on white lightning, baby, on a silver saddle to bring you the best of Borderline Texas trash, baby. I'm your host of the show, Uncle Boo. We go over everything. We do a little bit of politics at the end, but not much. I don't step into that bullshit a whole lot. But we have fun. I go over stupid world news of the day, talk about stuff from the past, what the cost of living or stuff was like that. And we just talk about all sorts of fucking fun facts, do a little joking around. And my niece joins the show sometimes. We do a little segment called Ash Handy's Garage on Friday nights, baby. That's our live show we do sometimes. And then I got the uncle that I talk to down in Boothville, Louisiana. And he calls sometimes. We have a little show called Uncle Dickie's Corner. So you guys come check out Texas Borderline Texas Trash, baby. I know you will love it. We are on every platform you can think of. Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeart. We're on everything. We're even on Podbean, man. We even got our own YouTube channel. We even got an Instagram account, and we got our Facebook account. So go check us out, man, and come listen to the show. You'll get to listen to Ash Handy, Uncle Boo, Uncle Dickie, and all the most recognizable voices in this motherfucking podcast in the world today, babies. Because we will get funky like a monkey, I guarantee it. Let's just say, baby, I've wined and dined with kings and queens, slept in dumpsters, ate pork and beans, baby. But I am your host of the show, Uncle Boo, Borderline Texas Trash. Don't forget about it. If you want to listen to a show to just get your mind off this crazy world and all the COVID and politics bullshit, come check my show out. Come check me and my crazy family out. Some of the shit we do live shows from the barbecue. So I'll see you later. Bye.
All right. I hope you like that. Let's get ready for the next story. All right, our next story is the the Campbell House. Sorry about that. It was the Campbell House is in Washington. The Campbell House was built in 1998 by renowned architect Cartland Cutter for Amusa B. Campbell and his wife Grace. Campbell made his fortune in mining exploration and operations in the mining region northeast of Spokane. There were stories wildly circulating that three of the Campbell children were son of a buck who lived here in the early 1900s were murdered by an intruder. I think I've told that story before, but you know what? I'm just going to do it again. Okay, supposedly they were killed. Children were killed by an intruder. Then they kidnapped a fourth kid who was never seen again. Other stories have conflicted, stating that the Campbell family had only one child, Helen, who lived healthily into her adulthood. Following Grace Campbell's death in 1924, Helen took then she was W.W. Palgrave. Anyway, she got the house, and then she gave it to the Eastern Washington State Historical Society in memory of her mother. The Campbell House became a community museum featuring historical art and exhibitions. A new museum building was added on the east lawn in 1960. A former resident of the area restored and renewed all elements of the Campbell House complex. That's pretty cool. Today, the house operates as part of the Northwest Museum of America and Culture. There are many mysterious stories surrounding the paranormal activity in the Campbell House. There is a portrait of Amos Bessel Campbell in the house that is said to follow visitors with her eyes. Haunting includes sightings of children playing in the bedrooms, mysterious noises, and some claim of that eyes in the portrait move. Visitors describe feeling a feeling of unsettling feeling or like just weird all through the house. They just get a real bad vibe. But if you ever want some hauntings, go by and check that out. Sounds like a cool place to go. All right, guys, I have one more story for you, and I'm not going to go to any music for it. I'm just going to tell you like it is. All right, last one is the Mallard Lodge. The Mallard Lodge used to be the center of an environmental faculty that was built in the 1930s. A famous businessman who had lived there, but due to the Lake Manitoba flood. Okay, this place is in Canada. The Lake Manitoba flood of 2011, the lodge has been closed permanently, according to the legend. While the house was being built, a construction worker was trapped inside the foundation. Now he haunts the grounds of the lodge, ringing bells and leaves disembodied voices, footsteps wherever they go around the house. That's what they hear. That's pretty crazy. Well, if you're in Canada, go check out the Millard Lodge. Oh, not Miller, Mallard Lodge. I'm sorry, Mallard. Mallard. Well, I hope I didn't scare you guys too much tonight. And I hope I told some good, skilly stories for you. And I hope I didn't scare you too bad. Hope you're able to sleep tonight. But I have had fun. It was a good time. Glad you guys enjoyed it. We're getting close to wrapping this up, and it's getting close to Halloween. Halloween, I've got a good story to talk about. That's creepy, and I can't wait to tell about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Thank you guys for listening. You can catch me on Spotify, catch me on YouTube. Go catch us Ghost Stories on pretty much any platform you can listen to podcasts on. I'm on there, baby. So, what do you say? But thank you guys for the numbers, man. The downloads are getting bigger. The followers are getting bigger. So I just want to say thank you guys and keep up the good work. And don't forget, be spooky and be nice to each other. But above all, be spooky. And Halloween's around the corner, guys. Football's starting. It's cooler weather is coming in. I can't wait. I had to turn off the air conditioner in the recording room today when I did the podcast. It's kind of chilly in here. But you guys, thank you for listening to the show. Give me some feedback on my Facebook page, Ghost Stories Told from the South, guys. I sure would appreciate it. All right. Well, we'll see you guys later. Bye.